I want to tell you something that might actually change your life, and I don't say that lightly. This might be one of the most important communication lessons you'll ever hear. It's simple, but it's powerful. And it's this: ask. Ask instead of assuming. Ask instead of accusing. Ask instead of jumping to conclusions. Ask instead of writing a whole dramatic movie in your mind, because most of the pain we feel in relationships is pain we imagined, not pain that was actually happening. And I say that with love and honesty and humility, because I've lived that pain. There was a time in my life when I would assume everything. If someone didn't answer, I assumed I was being rejected. If someone sounded short, I assumed I did something wrong. If someone didn't show up how I expected, my mind would create a whole tragic storyline, a full Broadway production, soundtrack, costumes, fog machine, standing ovation, and none of it was true. But my heart didn't know that, so it hurt as if it were true. This is why I'm telling you, asking can save you. We think asking makes us weak, but asking actually says, you matter enough to me that I want to understand you. And that is strength. That is confidence. That is emotional maturity. Asking is what strong people do. Let me give you a real example. Your friend cancels plans. Your mind immediately starts. They don't care. They take me for granted. I always show up and nobody shows up for me. But if you simply ask, softly, gently, hey, is everything okay? You may find out they were overwhelmed or anxious or embarrassed or tired or just having a rough moment in life. And instead of pain, you feel compassion. Your heart relaxes, your chest opens, your breath deepens, because the truth was simple and the story was complicated. Assumptions are almost always just fear wearing a costume. That's why we must ask, not only to understand the other person, but to free our own heart. Now let me talk about asking when you need something. Most people tell they don't ask. They say, I need to work from home 3 days a week. This schedule doesn't work for me. I need you to stop doing that. I need you to listen. When you speak like that, the other person feels pushed, cornered, controlled, even if you're completely right. But if you ask, hey, could I share something I've been thinking about? I realized I work better with less commuting, so I was wondering if we could try me working from home 3 days a week. What do you think? See how different that feels? You didn't demand, you didn't corner, you invited. And when people feel invited, they open. And when people open, relationships deepen. If this is resonating with you and you want to learn how to communicate in a calm, confident, emotionally connected way, this is what I help people with every day. You can book a free 15-minute consultation call with me just to talk, no pressure, no selling. You can go to danielmichaeltherapy.com or message me directly. Okay, back to the heart of this. I want to say something that might touch you. When you ask someone to explain themselves, you're not only giving them a chance, you're giving your heart a chance to stay soft, a chance to stay open, a chance to stay connected. And that softness, that is life. That's where love lives. That's where peace lives. That's where you live. I want to add a little humor here to breathe. Do you know how many arguments in the world are based on literally nothing? Nothing. Air, dust, imagination. We are terrible mind readers, every one of us, even very intuitive people, because the mind doesn't search for truth, it searches for meaning. And when it's afraid, it creates the story it fears most. So when you ask, you break that pattern, you interrupt the fear, you return to reality. And reality is usually gentle, human, understandable, workable. How to ask well. Let me give you a very simple formula. Number 1, Begin softly. Can I ask you something? 2. State your experience, not your accusation. When I didn't hear back, I felt unsure. 3. Invite their truth. What was going on for you? Done. No drama, no heat, no war. Just two humans. And this is how you create safe relationships. I want to say this clearly. This may be the most important interpersonal skill you'll ever learn, because your entire emotional life changes when you ask instead of assume. Your relationships deepen, your anxiety decreases, your trust increases, your peace grows, your heart becomes a calmer place to live, and you deserve that. You deserve to live inside a heart that isn't constantly under attack from stories that were never true. You deserve a life where relationships feel gentle, steady, warm, and real. And it starts with one word: ask. If you want support in learning how to communicate this way, I'd love to help you. I offer online therapy and hypnotherapy sessions that are warm, respectful, and real. Like this. We talk like humans, not robots. You can schedule a free 15-minute consultation at danielmichaeltherapy.com or message me directly. You don't have to figure this out alone. You can have relationships that feel safe. And I'd be honored to help you get there.